The sky above Stormfall Valley churned with silver clouds, streaked by a crimson glow that promised war. Winds howled like ancient spirits awakened from centuries of slumber. At the valley's heart stood three figures, three destinies intertwined not by choice, but by fate's merciless hand. The first was a man with long white hair, scars carved like forgotten runes across his face, and a sword forged in the fires of an age no one remembered.
It was the
His
first
eyes, cold and thoughtful,
last
burned with the silent
time.
fury of a lone warrior.
It was the
The world
first
knew him as the wolf-marked
last
hunter,
time.
slayer of beasts, guardian of the innocent, and a man carved from battle and solitude. Beside him stood a girl, not quite grown, not quite a child. Her ash-blonde hair braided in hurried strands flew with the wind, and her fierce, determined gaze held a storm within it. She gripped her sword with both hands, not out of fear, but readiness. She was Lyra, the last heir to a forgotten bloodline tied to powers few could understand and fewer could control. Behind them, half-shrouded in violet shadows, stood a woman with raven black hair and eyes that shimmered with ancient magic. She wore robes embroidered with glowing runes. Her presence was both elegant and terrifying. The land whispered her name with awe and fear, Seraphine, the enchantress of the Crimson Star. They were three souls drawn into a battle not of their making, yet bound to shape the world's destiny. I. The prophecy reborn. Long ago, the kingdom of Arvandor knew peace under the Celestial Pact, a treaty forged between humans, mages, and mythical creatures. But the peace shattered when the obsidian rift tore open, releasing horrors born from the void. Monsters crawled out from the darkness, and with them, a prophecy resurfaced, one that foretold the coming of a girl whose blood carried the power to seal the rift forever. That girl was Lyra. Seraphine had found Lyra as a child, lost, wounded, and hunted. Even back then, the girl's magic pulsed like an untamed heartbeat, capable of tearing mountains apart or healing life with a whisper. The sorceress knew she must be protected. But protection came with enemies. Dark forces sought the girl for their own ends, to twist her power, dominate kingdoms, and rule the world. The shadows whispered of a returning warlord, the master of the rift, a being once defeated, now rising again. Seraphine could protect Lyra with her magic, but not alone. So she had sought the deadliest sword in Arvandor, the wolf-marked hunter. 2. The hunter's burden. The hunter never believed in destiny. To him, monsters were monsters, no matter if they crawled from the earth, flew through storm clouds, or whispered through the souls of men. His sword existed for one reason, to kill what threatened the innocent. He had intended to refuse Seraphine's plea, protecting some mystic child chosen by prophecy. That wasn't his path, until Lyra looked up at him with fierce stubbornness and said, "I don't need you to protect me. I need you to train me." Her words broke something inside his hardened spirit. She reminded him of someone he once lost, a student who fell to darkness. Perhaps, in protecting Lyra, he could atone for that failure. And so, he accepted. Months passed. He taught her to wield a blade, to move like shadow, to strike with clarity, to survive. She learned quickly, driven by fear, hope, and a fire the hunter recognized all too well. Lyra was powerful, too powerful. The hunter witnessed her magic burst forth in uncontrolled storms, shattering rocks, tearing trees from the earth, and summoning winds that screamed. Seraphine tried to tame her power with spells and guidance, but the darkness within the child grew stronger each day. Something was calling to her. Something. From the rift. 3. The march toward Stormfall. When the earth shook with the arrival of the rift's legions, the trio knew time was over. They journeyed across charred forests, cursed ruins, and abandoned cities, reaching Stormfall Valley, the final battleground chosen by destiny itself. As they approached, Lyra's magic flared again. Seraphine placed a calming hand on the girl's shoulder, but her expression betrayed her fear. "Your blood resonates with the rift," the sorceress whispered. "It's waking up." The hunter tightened his grip on his sword. "Then we kill whatever wakes." But Seraphine shook her head. "Some things can't be killed with steel." The hunter glared. "Then it dies harder." Lyra stood between them both, torn between power she didn't understand and the weight of a world she hadn't asked to save. IV. The master of the rift. The valley trembled. A fissure tore open, wide, jagged, and glowing with molten shadows. From it emerged a towering figure of swirling black mist, armored in obsidian plates, its voice echoing like 1,000 souls crying at once. The Master of the Rift. He extended a clawed hand toward Lyra. You belong to me, child of the Starblood. Come, and the world shall kneel before your glory. Lyra shook, her sword trembling. The hunter stepped in front of her, his blade drawn. You'll have to go through me. The creature's laughter shook mountains. Gladly. Dark tendrils lashed out. The hunter parried with inhuman speed, carving through shadow, but each strike drained him. Seraphine conjured a barrier of violet flames, shielding Lyra from the onslaught. Lyra, Seraphine shouted, listen to me. You must close the rift. Lyra's eyes glowed with silver fire. I don't know how. You do, Seraphine insisted. Your blood remembers. The shadows intensified. The hunter was thrown to the ground. The Master of the Rift loomed over him, ready to strike the killing blow. Until Lyra screamed, a shockwave exploded from her, throwing the creature back. The battle for the future. Lyra stepped forward, her body glowing like molten starlight. The wind spiraled around her. Lightning surged through her veins. Her eyes turned pure white. Her voice layered with ancient power. I am the last of the Starblood, and I do not belong to you. The rift roared, and an army of nightmares flooded out, beasts of bone, smoke, and corrupted flesh. The hunter rose, battered but unbroken. Girl, focus on the rift. Leave the rest to me. Seraphine floated above the ground, summoning runes that crackled with incredible power. I'll hold off the Master. Seal the rift while you still can. Lyra nodded, lifting her sword. It glowed with her magic, transforming into a blade of light. The hunter charged into the horde, cutting down creatures with brutal precision. Each swing of his sword carved arcs of silver, protecting Lyra from the swarms trying to reach her. Seraphine and the Master clashed in a war of magic, shadows versus light, ancient wrath versus forbidden sorcery. The sky split open with thunder. The valley shook as Lyra raised her glowing sword toward the rift and released a scream that carried centuries of buried power. Energy erupted. Light poured out in massive waves, striking the rift's core. The darkness recoiled, shrieking. The Master howled in fury. No, you are mine. He lunged toward Lyra, but the hunter intercepted him, driving his sword into the creature's chest. Not today, Lyra cried out, pouring every last bit of strength into sealing the rift. Light blazed like a newborn star. Then, silence. The rift collapsed. The creatures dissolved. The Master disintegrated into smoke and vanished into nothing. Lyra fell. After the storm, the hunter rushed to her side, lifting her gently. She was unconscious, her breathing weak but steady. Seraphine landed beside them, her magic exhausted, her face pale but relieved. She did it. The rift is gone, for now. For now, the hunter growled. Seraphine nodded grimly. Rifts don't die, they sleep. And someday, another will open. The hunter looked down at Lyra, brushing a strand of hair from her face. Then we'll be ready. Seraphine gave a faint smile. Can't fight destiny forever. The hunter shrugged. Never tried. I just kill whatever needs killing. They both laughed softly, a sound rare and fragile in a broken world. Lyra stirred. Her eyes fluttered open, filled with exhaustion. Did we win? The hunter nodded. You did. She smiled weakly. Does that mean I can rest now? Just for a while, Seraphine said. The world will need you again. Lyra frowned. But I don't want to be chosen. I just want to be normal. The hunter looked at her, voice quiet. Normal people don't save the world. Lyra sighed. Then I guess I'm not normal. Seraphine placed a warm hand on her shoulder. No, child, you are extraordinary. And for the first time, Lyra didn't fear those words. 7. The road ahead. Stormfall Valley was quiet. Ruins smoldered. The sky was clearing, painted with soft shades of dawn. The world exhaled in relief. The trio stood at the cliff overlooking the valley. Where do we go now? Lyra asked. The hunter sheathed his sword. Wherever trouble finds us, Seraphine smirked. Which, knowing our luck, will be soon. Lyra smiled. And for a moment, she felt like a girl again, not a weapon, not a prophecy, not a savior. Just Lyra. As they walked into the sunrise, three silhouettes against a new beginning, the wind whispered through the valley, carrying a promise. The world had been saved once, and would be saved again. But for now, they rested, and the light returned to Arvandor.